100 people wanted to help marathon runners get everything together. And the Memphis Tigers came on top of a nail-biting matchup. Matt Enfield joins us with more from this exciting game.
Taking action for you. Action News 5 at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Cook. We begin tonight in Tunica. 3 people are dead after a shooting Friday night near the casinos. No word on any suspects or arrests made in this case. This all started as a call from a driver who thought a vehicle had just run off the road and hit a pole on Casino Drive. That's where we find Action News 5's Imani Williams.
Hey Kelly, I'm here on Casino Drive here in Tunica County, and when law enforcement arrived here on the scene, they found that it was a little bit more than just a car that hit a pole. Now, if you look behind me, here is the pole that we believe the car hit, and when law enforcement got here, it was cracked in half now, and there are also just debris everywhere and a lot of glass here in the field. Now, according to Tunica County Sheriff's Office, deputies arrived here around 9:26 Friday night. They saw the car that hit this pole, but looked closer and noticed the car was covered in bullet holes. Now that is when the homicide investigation began. Deshaun Isabel, Stephen Burtz, and Taniqua Moore were identified as the victims in this shooting. Now their bodies were sent to the Mississippi Crime Lab for autopsy. Multiple agencies are investigating this shooting, and I did reach out to the Tunica County Sheriff's Office to ask if there were any updates to this case, and as of now there are no updates, but you are urged to call the Tunica County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers if you have any information. But for now, live in Tunica County, Imani Williams, Action News 5.
After a nearly year-long search, Memphis police have made an arrest in a deadly December shooting at the now-closed J&B Lounge in South Memphis. 26-year-old Maurico Patterson is being charged with first-degree murder, employing a firearm during the commission to commit a dangerous felony, and being a convicted felon in possession of a weapon. Patterson was identified by witnesses as the shooter after a club employee tried to escort him out before those shots were fired. 2 people were shot. 1 man received non-critical injuries. The other victim later died. Memphis police also investigating a deadly shooting in the Soulsville area this morning. According to police, a shooting happened around 6:40 a.m. on Regent Place near Pond Street. The victim died at the hospital. Police say suspects were seen driving off in a red Dodge sedan and a gray Chevy sedan. If you know anything, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers 901-528-CASH. The St. Jude Marathon is less than a month away, and this morning about 100 volunteers were at the AutoZone Park to pack bags for the runners once they finish their race. Most of the volunteers have participated in the event before and say they are happy to donate their time to a cause that helps so many families across Memphis and really across the country. Organizers tell us over 19,000 bags were packed for the finishers. We're expecting a lot of runners in Memphis. We caught up with a volunteer who helped to lead this effort for more than a decade.
We have over 4,000 volunteers at the event, and food and beverage has over 400. And I mean, we couldn't do it without the volunteers, right? So as you can even see in the background, we have over 100 volunteers here today packing the bags. And so an event this size, with this mission, you just can't do without volunteers.
Bowler has been a co-captain for 8 years for the food and beverage volunteers. She tells us last year St. Jude raised over $14 million during last year's event. This year's goal is $15 million. Bowler also says they could use more volunteers for the expo and the race. So if you are interested, go to stjude.org/marathon volunteers. All right, a cooler start to the weekend after days of record heat. Meteorologist Maggie McCauley joins us now with the first alert forecast. Maggie?
Yeah, you're right. We saw some warm conditions and now we're seeing a cooler weekend, but I think we're all thankful for it. We also saw a lot of cloud cover, especially if you live in portions of North Mississippi. We're seeing the system just sitting off to our south, surging that cloud cover north, and that'll be the same story even as we head into our Sunday. But mild conditions really was nice out there across the board here in the United States in the midsection, 59 in Tulsa, 58 over here in Shelby County. We're finally in the 50s here in Memphis. All of us really reached that before here in Memphis. 56 now in Holly Springs, 54 down there in Oxford. So mild conditions, really nice. If you're headed out though, make sure to take a coat because we'll see another cooler night ahead. So I'll have your first alert to cooler conditions overnight, but a little bit of a warmer day for Sunday. I have all the details coming up.
All right, let's talk about these Memphis Tigers hitting the road today to take on Charlotte. And this was not as easy as some thought it might be. Let's bring in Action News 5's Matt Enfield joins us in the studio with the recap. What's going on, Matt?
Kelly, the Tigers don't know how to play normal football games, I am convinced. Memphis needs to win to have any shot at playing for a conference championship. Need to win out, that is. Seth Hennigan, questionable to play all week with the left shoulder injury he suffered last Saturday. Did indeed start this game. But let's go to the fourth quarter. Charlotte running back Hashawn Wilson had one career carry before today. Tigers defense had no answers for him. He had 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. This one gives Charlotte a 10-point lead with under 8 to play. Memphis on the ropes, but that's nothing new for this team. Hennigan leads them down the field. Blake Watson in the flat. Great bounce to back into the end zone. It's a 38-35 game with 5.5 to play. Tigers got the stop they needed, drove into Charlotte territory. 40 seconds left. Tanner Gillis missed a very similar kick earlier in the game. 41 yards to tie it. Ice in his veins. Right down the middle. Free football going to overtime. Tied at 38. First overtime. Charlotte missed a field goal. Tigers had no problem moving the ball, and Watson puts this one to bed. Scampers home for the walk-off. His 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Tigers somehow, some way, win another game where it looked like they were down and out. Victorious 44-38 today. It's now set up for a huge one next Saturday, the regular season home finale against SMU. But Kelly, I think Tiger fans are going to need to see a cardiologist first because that was a thriller.
Yeah, Matt. Okay, still ahead. A local sports program is looking to expand and reach more of the community. How the program would like to become the center of hope and opportunity. But first, Veterans Day can weigh a lot on service members' minds this time of year. How you can help veterans keep their minds healthy and active. More than 3 million veterans experienced a mental illness in 2021, according to a national survey on drug use and health. And the data shows nearly half of them did not seek treatment. Mandy Gaither has ways you can help veterans and their mental health.
In and out of the uniform, U.S. military servicemen and women can face unique mental health struggles, and many veterans don't get the help they need, says clinical psychologist Craig Bryant with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center.
They kind of feel, I can do this on my own. I don't want anybody to help me, and I don't want to bother other people.
Having a support system can help, Bryant says, to reach out to veterans you know, checking in on a regular basis, invite them to engage in social activities, exercise with them, or do a hobby together.
All of these things increase their sense of connection and has also been shown to elevate positive mood and psychological well-being.
Brian says to also watch out for red flags. There could be a mental health concern if a veteran experiences severe behavior changes, sleep disruption like an inability to fall and stay asleep, or if there are concerning verbalizations like, I can't take this anymore.
We often find that veterans will not necessarily say out loud that they're having thoughts about suicide. They may have these other sort of coded statements that would indicate that things aren't going really well.
Brian says it's also important to let veterans know there is help for them.
Our advances in psychological treatments have been very profound over the past few decades, and that many of those conditions that we were talking about before that often affect veterans, there are actually now really good treatments that are remarkably successful for addressing those issues.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Brian says veterans can also help their own mental health by exercising on a regular basis, eating healthy, keeping to a regular sleep schedule, and by being willing to reach out and ask for help when it is needed. Memphis Inner City Rugby is looking to expand the funding request by the organization and how they plan to grow the program.
This broadcast is sponsored by Best Care Plumbing, Heating, and Air. When it comes to your comfort, you deserve the best. You're watching Action News 5 at 6.
Memphis Inner City Rugby is hoping to get more than $1 million to expand the program. That funding passed its first hurdle with Shelby County Commissioners on Wednesday, but it did get some pushback. Action News 5, Sydney Hawkins shares where the money will go if it receives full approval.
We have 6 aye votes and 1 abstain.
Thank you. The item goes down with a favorable recommendation.
Memphis Inner City Rugby players are one step closer to their dream recreation space at the vacant Vance Middle School lot, that includes a practice field and support space.
Our goal for the expansion of the Memphis Inner-City Rugby program is for this home field to become a symbol of hope and opportunity for our youth.
Shelby County commissioners gave their first approval of $1.1 million in funding for the sports team Wednesday, though some commissioners have concerns about allocating that amount of funds.
I'm not saying that what you're doing is not honorable, that it's not impactful, but I'm just saying that there are additional consequences of just getting your $1.1 million without thinking about other Black and brown children across Shelby County who are not going to be able to have a white male figurehead sit up here and be able to broker a deal on their behalf.
Shane Young is the co-founder of MICR. He says with the funding, they'd upgrade the playing field as well as add a plumbing system to that space.
20 feet to my left, we have a porta potty that's here for a month, and we just have to keep it here because before we would be driving kids to McDonald's anytime someone had to go to the bathroom. So just having a bathroom, running water here, our coaches are lugging Gatorade jugs and replacing them.
MICR leaders say they currently have no plans to acquire the historic Vance Middle School lot owned and operated by Memphis Shelby County Schools with this funding. Commissioners asked to hear from an MSCS representative at the next meeting before receiving its next vote. Reporting in Memphis, Sydney Hawkins, Action News 5.
Right now, some Memphis families are struggling to put food on their tables. In the Mid-South, the food insecurity rate stands at 15.6%. You can help change that by donating to the Action News 5 Holiday Food Drive. Your donations will go to the Mid-South Food Bank to help families across 31 Mid-South counties. You can make donations at any Mid-South Kroger location or online by using the QR code on your screen there. You have until December 5th to give back. Let's keep this tradition alive. Memphis police are hosting another steering wheel lot giveaway. This giveaway is happening Friday, November 17th from noon until 2 p.m. at the Greenbelt Park at Harbortown. You must show proof that you live in Memphis. MPD says the top 5 vehicles that are targets for theft will receive priority on those wheel locks. Those include Nissan Maximas, Hyundai Elantras and Sonatas, and Kia Souls and Optimus. It's been a beautiful day here in the Mid-South, but the sun is down as we take a live look at our High 5 camera across Midtown. All right, let's check in now with Maggie McCauley for a check our forecast.
Yeah, it really was nice out there today. If you got out, it's pretty comfortable outside. Nice fall day shaping up for us, and we'll see that for Sunday as well. Taking a look at what's going on right now across the board, clouds and radar, we're seeing some cloud cover surging into the Mid-South, really cutting our area in half. If you're in North Mississippi, you saw a lot more cloud cover today than the rest of us, but all of us saw a good amount of it, and that'll continue that same story as we had overnight and then also into our Sunday. Where the clouds are right now, again, mainly setting up in portions of North Mississippi. They'll continue to surge in and out of the area over the next really 24 hours. As we go over the next few hours, we'll see temperatures dip down into the 50s. So if you are headed out this evening, make sure to grab that light coat. A little bit in the chill in the air out there. As we head into the early morning hours of our Sunday, temperatures will fall into the mid-40s. So your first alert to another chilly night ahead. Some of us who don't see as much of that cloud cover, like portions of western Tennessee, could see the upper 30s. I think everyone will be near 40, 45 here in Shelby County. Same story in portions of North Mississippi, mid-40s, and then low 40s in eastern Arkansas. So all of us in the 40s, a little bit chilly if you're headed out early for your Sunday morning. Let's talk about where clouds are going to be. I don't think we're going to be seeing any rainfall over the weekend, but definitely an abundance of clouds throughout the area. Again, as we head overnight, clouds really going to be setting up south of I-40, surging a little bit back and forth before building back into the area as we head into Sunday morning for those same areas. So portions of northeast Arkansas into western Tennessee waking up with a little bit more sunshine than those sitting south of I-40. All of us seeing that cloud cover, though, come back into the area as we head throughout the back half of our Sunday. So a lot of clouds for Sunday, making for maybe a dreary end to the day, but no rainfall expected. If you do have any outdoor plans, you are good to go. Heading into Monday, going to be cloudy overnight, cloudy start to our Monday as well. So maybe making it a little bit harder to get up in the morning. As for Sunday, mostly cloudy, but again, good to go if you have any plans. Even going to be a tad warmer out there. We're going to be in the upper 60s. So really nice conditions as we head into Sunday afternoon. Our next best chance of rain doesn't come Sunday or Monday, but as we head into our Tuesday, mainly overnight Tuesday, then lasting into portions of our Wednesday, possibly making for a wet commute out there. And then we'll see chances go down into Thursday. So let's talk timing. When are we expecting this? Could see a few showers try to come into the Mid-South, creep into portions of North Mississippi later in the day on Tuesday, but really that doesn't happen until we head overnight Wednesday. Seeing that at 2 a.m., starting to see some of those showers surging into the Mid-South. It's all because of a system sitting to our south, giving us more chances. And as we head into Wednesday morning, maybe a wet morning commute for some before that fizzles out into the afternoon. Here's your rainfall potential again, kind of throughout the middle portion of the Mid-South. A little bit better chance into North Mississippi, which is where we need that rainfall to set up anyway due to drought conditions. 60s will stay through the rest of the week, even touching 70 into Friday.
Come on, 70. Thank you so much, Maggie. Don't go away. We've got sports coming up next.
The Grizzlies' horrendous start to 2023 continues. They fall at home to the Utah Jazz to drop to 1-8 on the year. But post-game, all the talk was about the officiating, and frankly, it was really bad the entire night. That was never on display more than in the third quarter when Jaren Jackson Jr. was hit 2 possessions in a row, didn't get a call either time. voiced his displeasure and was promptly ejected. And after the game, Taylor Jenkins, tell us how you really feel.
Saddle up. One of the most poorly officiated games I've ever seen. Recorded. I'm fine with it. Atrocious. Jaren Jackson plays 23 minutes and is in the paint all night. He's one of the most professional players in this league. And he gets a double technical foul. And the excuse I get is that he's charging at an official. It's called de-escalation. 29 free throws to 13. And I'm not that coach. You can go back in the history. I've done this one other time. Our team is competing their asses off. Competing their asses off. And this is what happens. The interactions right now with the officials, complete disrespect. I know what's coming. It's unbelievable the looks on the faces when I'm trying to engage in conversation to defend our guys that are busting their tail right now. Busting their tail. And Jaren Jackson's one of the most professional guys. And if you go watch the play, 2 possessions in a row, he gets hacked underneath the basket, 0 free throw attempts. I'm not trying to put a name on a jersey and this guy should earn these fouls and all that stuff. Watch the game. 29 free throws to basically like there was 7. And then at the end of the game, a few more added. I don't understand it when guys are competing their tails off. And we got stuff we can clean up. Sometimes we're grabbing, we're holding, and one's like, oh man, here. In the heat of the battle, when conversations are trying to be had, notices trying to be made on things that are happening, and there's not the enforcement of it. It blows my mind. What are we doing here?
I loved every second of that. I imagine Jenkins' wallet will be a little bit lighter from the NBA for his travel to LA to take on the Clippers tomorrow night. Listen, this is my second season covering them. He's about as mild-mannered as it gets. I have never seen him get anything close to that. So they need a spark, though. Something needs to light a fire under them, so maybe that's it. I loved it, though.
Did you enjoy that editing? Did you do the editing? The
Grizzlies took care of it for us,
Okay.
thankfully. But, yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Final look at our forecast.
Yeah, if you have any Sunday plans, headed out there. Really nice conditions shaping up. Cloud cover will be prevalent, but we'll see temperatures in the upper 60s. So it really will be a nice day to get out if you do have any plans.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us here on all of our digital platforms. We are back on air tonight at 10. We'll see you then.
Take the First Alert Weather Team wherever you go. Live radar, hour-by-hour forecasts, everything you need to help plan your day. Download the free First Alert Weather app today. Sponsored by Comfort Dynamics, Heating and Air Specialist. Your comfort is our business.